NATO has announced the launch of a new military effort dubbed Arctic Sentry, aimed at improving security in the high north.
The European Union is setting up a strategy to efficiently detect malicious drones entering the bloc.
NATO has announced the launch of a new military effort dubbed Arctic Sentry, aimed at improving security in the high north. It comes just weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to forcefully take Greenland, the semi-autonomous territory of the Danish kingdom, prompting a crisis for the alliance.
Most of us in Europe and in the US agree, and in Canada, that there is a lot of value in sticking together. Because NATO is there not only to protect Europe and Canada, but also the United States. I mean, for the US to stay safe going forward, they need a secure Arctic, a secure Europe and a secure Atlantic. And for Europe to stay safe, of course, we need, of course, this close cooperation, transatlantic.
A senior NATO military officer pushed back on suggestions that the Arctic Sentry is merely a rebranding exercise to appease Trump. Initially, Arctic Sentry will be the NATO label for national military exercises in the region and does not involve the permanent or even long-term deployment of troops to the region under a NATO banner. European allies hope that the initiative, as well as ongoing talks between the Trump administration, Denmark, and Greenland, will allow NATO to move on from the dispute surrounding Greenland.
The European Union is setting up a strategy to efficiently detect malicious drones entering the bloc. The Commission presented an action plan on Tuesday in response to multiple incidents that have affected critical infrastructure in countries such as Poland and Belgium.
We have seen that drones, they have violated our airspace, disrupted our airport operations and caused also near misses with the civilian aircrafts. In fact, this malicious or irresponsible use of drones affects the protection of critical infrastructure, also our external borders, ports, transport hubs and public spaces, as well as maritime safety and energy security.
The strategy aims to increase investments in technologies that can distinguish malicious drones from others. The Commission also announced a new certification scheme for counter-drone systems and the launch of an industry forum to scale up production.
A Russian drone smashed into a home in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region overnight, killing 4 people, a father and his 3 small children. The children's mother, who is 35 weeks pregnant, was badly injured, Ukrainian authorities said on Wednesday. According to the Kharkiv Regional Prosecutor's Office, the strike completely destroyed the house and set it on fire, with the family trapped under the rubble. Rescue workers pulled the mother alive from the rubble, prosecutors said. The latest Russian aerial attack comes after a so-called energy truce, which U.S. President Donald Trump said he asked Russian President Vladimir Putin to observe expired last week. The truce was meant to allow Ukraine's energy sector a reprieve during what has been an extremely cold winter. Local authorities in Kharkiv have declared a state of emergency over the energy situation in the region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the latest attack, saying every such Russian strike undermines confidence in everything that is being done diplomatically to end the 4-year-old war.
A Paris appeals court has announced that it will rule on July 7th in a fraud case against far-right leader Marine Le Pen, in what is expected to be a pivotal moment for French politics. The outcome would determine whether Le Pen would be able to run for president next year. She's challenging a March 2025 verdict that found her and other members of her National Rally Party guilty of misusing European Parliament funds in the hiring of aides from 2004 to 2016. Le Pen made it to the second round in the 2017 and 2022 presidential polls, losing to President Emmanuel Macron both times. But he cannot run again next year after hitting the limit of 2 consecutive terms in office. Le Pen has said she will decide whether to run for president after the ruling in the appeal trial, and has indicated that 30-year-old Jordan Bardella, who heads her party, could be the selected candidate instead. Prosecutors last week demanded the court maintain a 5-year ban and a 4-year prison term with 3 years suspended for Le Pen in the case.
If you found yourself in an emergency, would you know which number to call? The 11th of February marks European 112 Day, a day established by the European Union in 2009 to promote the emergency number.
112 is an international number you can call for an emergency, but only in Europe. And the benefits of that is that when you're in another country, like Italy or something, like to say, or Spain, and you have an emergency at that moment, you don't have to think about, okay, what's the number right here?
In Brussels, each operator received a little gift as a token of appreciation, a stress ball. This might prove useful given the demanding nature of the job. In 2025, operators in Belgium responded to over 2.5 million calls. In the country, a phone app was created to help first responders. Users can open the application to select the type of assistance they need.
Die app laat toe om een exacte positiebepaling te hebben van waar u zich bevindt. Dus dat is gemakkelijker om u terug te vinden. Er staat ook een chatfunctie in voor mensen die slechthorend zijn of die een spraakgebrek hebben of die door omstandigheden niet kunnen praten. Je kunt er ook medische informatie insteken. Dus bijvoorbeeld ik ben diabeticus, dus dat weet de 100-centrale dat duidelijk dat er daarmee rekening moet gehouden worden. En er staat ook een alarmfunctie op, dat kan geactiveerd worden door de 112-operator om u gemakkelijker terug te vinden als u buiten bewustzijn bent.
The fire brigade in Brussels continues to encourage the public to download the tool, as currently only 4 to 5% of the requests are made through the app.
A new independent investigation has raised doubts about the official account of Kurt Cobain's death, challenging the suicide ruling and citing evidence of a forced heroin overdose. More than 3 decades after the beloved rock star and Generation X icon's death shook the music world, a forensic team has presented a peer-reviewed paper with evidence claiming that Cobain may have been confronted by one or more assailants, forcibly given a heroin overdose to incapacitate him and then shot in the head. The report also claims that the shotgun found in his hands was allegedly placed in his arms. The latest investigation comes after a 1998 documentary by Nick Broomfield titled Kurt and Courtney ran with these theories, investigating the tragic death and claiming that murder could not be ruled out. Since then, there has been persistent conjecture that Cobain had been murdered, with conspiracy theories citing his supposedly tampered suicide note. Authorities have, however, refused to reopen the case despite mounting evidence and public scrutiny. The Nirvana frontman and grunge legend was found dead in his apartment on 5 April 1994 at the age of 27. His cause of death was ruled to be a self-inflicted shotgun wound to the face, as Cobain had been wrestling with drug abuse and depression for years.
We were a bit afraid, but
there was a lot of ice, you know.
Yes, and it was a little rough and so on, but it was amazing, really amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, we love the winter, and you know the ice inside Copenhagen,
and all
the haven,
light,
yes, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I think the light run today was really a success. People from the city came, people from abroad came, running through the lightworks and connecting the people with the lightworks and the arts and everything. Really nice and warming experience.
Two important exhibitions highlighting Cyprus' cultural heritage and its long-standing ties with France and Europe were inaugurated in Paris by the President of Cyprus, accompanied by his wife, Philippa Carcera, French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte. The Louvre Museum is hosting for the first time 16 Cypriot antiquities loaned by the Department of Antiquities of the Cyprus Ministry of Culture. Specifically, through characteristic objects, visitors can understand the commercial and cultural exchanges that developed in Cyprus during the Chalcolithic period and the Bronze Age. The exhibition, which will be open to visitors until June 22, is organized as part of the cultural program of the Cypriot Presidency of the European Council. As for the opening of the second exhibition, which will run until June 14th, the National Library of France is honoring the island of Aphrodite in collaboration with the Bank of Cyprus Cultural Foundation. Numerous exhibits from the National Library of France present Cyprus through the centuries and reveal how the French viewed it. Engravings by the painter Louis-François Casas, who visited the island in 1785, as well as 17th and 18th century icons on loan from the Bank of Cyprus Cultural Foundation and the Church of Panagia Phaneromeni in Nicosia, highlight the importance of the Orthodox Byzantine tradition in shaping Cypriot identity.